Hi everyone, my name is Tracy and I am a recovering opiate addict. I was addicted to opiates for about 10 years, first prescription painkillers and then heroin. I've dealt with substance abuse disorder and mental health issues since I was about 15 years old. I was first prescribed pain medicine from the dentist. I did dental work. And I didn't know at the time that I had already had the predisposition to become addicted to the pills. Once I started taking them, I liked the way that they felt, they made me feel, and I became addicted to them. First it was something that I wanted to do because I liked the feeling, and then it was something that I needed to do, that I was physically and mentally addicted to these pills. I wasn't aware that if I stopped use that I would have withdrawals. The first time I went into withdrawal from opiates, I thought I just had the flu. I went to the hospital and they told me that I was in opiate withdrawal. In 2014, I was introduced to heroin. At that time, I wasn't aware of the fact that heroin was an opiate as well. I probably would have used heroin way before I did. And I started using heroin. It was a cheaper high and it was more accessible than the pills. When I was using pills, I could still function somewhat. I still had a home, I still had my son, I still had a vehicle. And within about a year of using heroin, I lost my home. I started to have consequences to my actions. I overdosed a couple times. I started having legal action. I became, the drug task force in Portage County became very well aware of who I was, and I went to jail. But none of that ever stopped me. I mean, I started to want to try to get help for myself. My son was a teenager whenever my addiction to opiates started, and he's watched the downward spiral of me become addicted to these drugs, and I didn't realize at first how it affected other people. I mean, I didn't care what happened to me, but I didn't realize how it impacted my son and my father. In December of 2016, I suffered an overdose from opiates at the Kent Free Library, and at that time, I had prescription benzos that weren't mine. So I got a misdemeanor drug charge, and that brought me in front of Judge Pullen. And he was very adamant about trying to get me help. I didn't understand why, because at that point in time, I wasn't willing to help myself, so I didn't know why anyone else would want to help me. Judge Pullen gave me the conviction in lieu program, and I was sentenced to complete an assessment with adult probation for drug and alcohol treatment and counseling. I was referred to Town Hall 2 for the IOP program, and I was referred to Coleman for mental health counseling. About a month into being in the IOP program, I was still using. I decreased my use in August. The prior August, I had suffered an overdose where I almost didn't make it. So that kind of opened my eyes to needing to do something to help myself, but I checked myself into another treatment facility and was only able to stay clean for about a month, and went back and forth through different detox facilities, but I was never able to have any length of sobriety. While I was in the intensive outpatient program at Town Hall 2, I told my counselors that I wasn't going to be able to stay sober. I told the probation officer that I was struggling with trying to stay sober, and she recommended that I go back to a treatment facility. Of course, I wanted to go to another 30-day program where there was men and there was other things to distract me, so I really didn't have to really focus on the issues that I needed to take care of. But I couldn't manipulate her, so she asked that I do the women's program in Ravenna, which is the Horizon House. And I went into the program hating it because I had to wake up, I had chores to do, and at that point in time, I had no structure in my life whatsoever. I gave up every responsibility I had, and I didn't even take care of my son. I had my dad do it because I no longer could. But the things that I ended up hating about the program were the things that really helped me. I ended up completing the program at Horizon House in 67 days, and while I was in Horizon House, I continued my mental health counseling at Coleman. And there, my counselor recommended that I do medically assisted treatment. And at first I was really reluctant to do it because I read the things on social media, the stigmas that come with medically assisted treatment. Some people don't believe that being medicated is being sober, but it helped me. I started out on the Vivitrol shot, and about 4 months into being on Vivitrol, I became pregnant, so I was no longer able to take the Vivitrol shot, so they recommended that I take Subutex. And at first, I didn't really want to do it because, I mean, my life got out of control because of my addiction to pills, and I didn't know if I would be able to successfully have this medication and take it the way that I was supposed to. But Coleman recommended me to a program for women. It's at Akron City Hospital. It's called the Women's Centering Program, and I go weekly, every Tuesday. I do my prenatal visits there, and then I see a doctor who prescribes my medicine. I'm only given a week medicine at a time. I have to take a drug test, and if I have any other drugs in my system other than the what I'm prescribed, then I have to go back and do treatment at facilities. So the program that I'm in is really structured, so that's why I think it works so well for me. But medically assisted treatment isn't the only thing that has helped me to stay sober. Whenever I got out of the Horizon House, I started volunteering with Ohio Can, with Our Place. I started going to different meetings. I do 12-step meetings, Smart Recovery. Kent State has a program, the Thrive program, and all these things have helped me because for 20 years of my life, I lived a lifestyle where I used drugs and I didn't do anything productive. So these things have helped me to stay sober. And the people that I thought were going to be against me and just wanted to send me to jail, like Judge Pullen and my probation officer, became my biggest support system. I've just completed the Conviction in Lieu program last week, so I no longer have to report to probation, but I've only been able to do that successfully because of the support that I've had. The people that have helped me in meetings, my counselors at Town Hall 2, they've all encouraged me, and I've done well in my sobriety, so with the encouragement that I've got from that, that's made me want to continue. My life isn't completely better, and I mean, I still have problems, but the problems I have today don't lead me to use drugs anymore. And today, I'm able to say that I'll be a year sober in November, and I could never even put together, a couple weeks of sobriety. I think that if you're in a structured program, if you're not just relying on the medication, if you're relying on counseling and support groups, that medically assisted treatment can work. I mean, it has for me. And before I got sober, I pretty much came to terms that I wasn't going to get better, that this was something that I was gonna die from, and that I would be lucky if I ended up in prison and not dead. Thank you.